4, 3. Welcome to the Dirty Sports Podcast. I am your host, Andy Ruther, coming to you live from the Smut Studio in Venice Beach, California, with my co-host, Joey No Chill Praino.
Hello, Andy.
Happy Thursday morning, Praino.
Happy Thursday morning.
You have survived 1 week in your newly reconstructed knee.
Yeah.
Struggle's real today, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a tough one. I decided to rock the sunglasses today in case I go full weekend at Bernie's during the show. Just if you catch me in this position, just give me a little. Just be like, Praino, what do you think about the Super Bowl? Wake up a little bit. Yeah, I don't know. I did my first physical therapy session yesterday, and during the process, you see like in movies and fucking whatever, like the guy sweating and grunting his way through physical therapy. It was actually like pretty. I don't want to say it was easy. It definitely like hurt a lot to do, but it wasn't. I was mostly laying in bed, like I was mostly laying in bed, like moving my leg around. It's not like I was doing squats or anything, but so during it felt kind of totally fine. I was like, okay, I'm getting some movement, getting the range of motion, and about an hour after it, just like pain set in. I guess you know that I haven't been doing anything with it. Just really started to hurt, and it's been pretty painful ever since. I'm trying not to, use too many painkillers. So
Yeah, you don't want to go the Brett Favre route.
no, don't want to go the Brett Favre route.
Don't go full Favre.
Yeah,
I think that's what they say.
yeah.
Well, we have a fun show.
I mean, I was sending dick pics to multiple people yesterday.
Oh, well, that's good.
But not full Favre.
That's half Favre.
Not the painkillers and dick pics.
Yeah, that's half Favre. We have a fun show, obviously. Super Bowl 54 preview. We're going to preview the games.
54. Now, Andy, we started this podcast right around the Super Bowl. Was it a pre-Super Bowl podcast or was it a post-Super Bowl podcast? I feel like it was right around the Super Bowl because I remember a Richard Sherman jersey was involved.
It was right after the Seahawks beat the 49ers in the 2014 NFC Championship.
So we are on, this is six years?
6 years.
Wow.
Last week was our 6th year. Now, obviously, I was coming back.
Where's your Richard Sherman jersey? He's back in the big game.
I sent it to CT.
That was a gift.
So he asked for it, and CT, our official Dirty Sports rental car correspondent, who's been a huge help for us, I sent it to him a few years ago. He asked for it, and I said, sure.
Have you considered getting a 49ers Richard Sherman jersey?
I have not. I'm a Richard Sherman fan, though. Always have been.
Oh, dude, when we started this podcast, it was basically, I believe, the first title suggestion of this podcast was the Richard Sherman Stands podcast. Like you were like all about Richard Sherman. You were basically calling yourself Little Dickie Sherman.
I think I had a bull named Dickie Sherm.
Yeah.
I'm a fan. I've always been a fan, and he played well this year. Played very well, and he's one of the main reasons that defense is so good. And obviously, we'll discuss that when we preview the game, and then we're doing all the prop bets, and also we got a huge announcement. Huge for all the dirtballs. I'm excited about that.
Our usual announcements are my right knee. Our announcement today is my left knee.
Yeah.
Way bigger.
Yeah.
Huge.
Well,
just a swollen announcement.
I'm just glad that we survived, and by we, the Smut Studio yesterday, because for anyone who looked at my social media, the whole place almost burned down. A homeless woman on Mildred decided to light all her stuff on fire, hang it on the fence on Mildred, light it on fire, including her clothes. She was fully nude. I missed all this. I was out. And it burned above the second story of our garage. The garage is on the floor, but there's a second above ground where I park. Huge flames. Embers made their way onto my parking lot. Luckily, there were no cars. Go on my Instagram. Go on my Twitter. absolutely wild. Praino, it's gone next level now with the homeless people on Mildred.
Yeah, we've talked about it a lot on this show. How we have a very distinct, uh, we have a very distinct position in Venice as being the only beach town that's LA City, and therefore, I feel like the homeless are drawn to the water.
Is that true, by the way?
Well, yeah. If you think about it, right? Because Santa Monica is its own city,
Yeah.
Palisades, Malibu. Past Malibu, you get to Ventura. You go south of here.
Is Playa? That's not considered part of Los Angeles City.
Is Playa? I don't know. That's a great question.
Or Dockweiler?
Dockweiler, that it might be now that you mention it, but obviously there's no neighborhood there.
Yeah.
Right. There's no like in Playa. That's a great question. I wonder if Playa, like right at the end of Culver, there is LA City, because they don't really seem to have the homeless problem we do.
I think Marina's LA City.
Yeah, but there's like some weird unincorporated, like there's some weird shit that goes on in Marina.
Yeah.
As well. But also you have all residential there. Like if you look at LA, if you look at Venice, we have, residential and like commercial shit that goes right up to the beach.
Yeah.
So like that's the problem with the homeless people in our neighborhood, is if they're outside your residence, you can call and make a complaint. But if they're outside some fucking whatever, like they just find these loopholes. They're like, oh, we're outside fucking like that big storage space over on 4th Street that's basically basically Venice's Skid Row. Like they find these loopholes, just being like, well, call and complain. And if you look around, it's just like amazing. Like every other neighborhood has it figured out, and we just have the pleasure of being like the homeless capital of LA, besides Skid Row, really.
Yeah.
And even Skid Row, at least they're all in one fucking area.
Yeah, here it's spread out. But I came back and I didn't know, and I was hoping. Let's get Nick here on the mic. I was hoping that Nick witnessed the fire, and I come back in the apartment, and I'm like, dude, you see the fire? My apartment complex is all burning.
Well, I hadn't seen the fire because I was out on the boardwalk at the time, but I did see a fire emergency vehicle driving down the boardwalk while I was on the boardwalk. No idea it was on Mildred.
I mean, you could have gotten great footage for us, Nick.
What's amazing to me about this situation is, like, after the fire, like today we drove by, her burnt property is all still there.
Yeah.
Like, even in a regular fire, they clean up after.
Yeah.
Like, you start sweeping up the side, like, whatever LA is doing with the homeless people, whatever sort of weird rules they've made for themselves, where they're like, hey, man, we can't mess with the homeless people. I think you can mess with their shit after they burn it down.
Yeah.
Like, is that stuff just stay there until it rains now?
It's a good question.
Like, there's no police tape around it.
There was yesterday. Now it's removed.
Yeah. Now it's just like, well, this was a crime scene, but now it's just like
burnt homeless underwear.
Burnt homeless shit on your sidewalk.
Yeah.
It's kind of gross. I know.
Does that make you want that quality of life in Ohio?
No, but it kind of makes me want that quality of life in, like, Manhattan Beach.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I feel ya.
Like, I mean, I love the part of Venice I love is that it is a little gritty and a little dirty, and it's like a little bit more awake, because when you're in, a lot of times everywhere basically in the world, beach towns are sort of synonymous with, like, sleepy. Like, people get up earlier, they do the exercise thing, the surf thing, whatever, they go to bed earlier. And I like that Venice has a little bit of attitude, but, like, we've let it get out of control.
Yeah.
I mean, we haven't, but the city has.
Nick, what do you think? You've been here now 3.5 weeks. What are your thoughts? You've lived in Venice. You lived in my apartment for 3.5 weeks.
Well, it's definitely an adjustment. I mean, any big city you go to is going to have, like, homeless people on the streets. Like, I was just in Denver.
Do the mic a little closer to your mouth.
I was just in Denver, obviously a homeless population there, but it's nothing like out here in Venice.
Yeah.
Where, like, I haven't seen someone living in a tent and have all of their property enclosed just on a sidewalk and then when you're just like you outgrow your clothes, you just burn them down.
Yeah. I mean, fully nude, by the way.
Yeah.
That's a move. I'm sick of my stuff.
I heard that she was a Tom Brady fan. She's a Patriots fan. She heard that he's leaving, and so she took all of her Brady gear and she lit it on fire.
Now you present something that's pretty interesting. What will Patriots fans do? You would think if Brady leaves, they would not be mad, right? Like,
Well, look, anything. First of all, the people of Boston and that area, horrific people. Just especially when it comes to their sports teams. I mean,
Yeah.
like some of the grossest fans ever, and they're not Philadelphia fans, but they're gross people. And much like Philadelphia fans, the thing about Boston fans and outer Boston is that completely regular people lose their mind. Like they put on their team's jersey and they become a wholly different person.
Yeah.
Where now they're screaming racist shit at people and like losing their mind, and it's horrible. But here's what I'll say. At this point, literally nothing will surprise me. LeBron James delivered Cleveland its first success story in the history of the city of Cleveland. And they burned his jersey when he left for the Lakers.
well, I don't want to say that, like a few idiots.
Okay, but that's my point. A few idiots, I don't care if it's 1, 2, 10, 30, whatever. LeBron James delivered to Cleveland positivity. Cleveland hasn't had positivity since
Bone Thugs.
even that.
Whoa,
Even-
whoa, 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 whoa.
I mean,
whoa.
even that. Like, did Bone Thugs go number one? I don't think that was a number one song. Like,
You know what they did?
when
go-
has Cleveland had fucking success on any level, across anything, sports, art, industry?
Yeah, they got the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah, they have the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Drew Carey, Cleveland legend.
Yeah, it's not exactly Seinfeld, right?
I like Drew Carey.
Sure. You watch a lot of the Drew Carey show?
No.
Yeah, didn't think so.
I like him as a person, though.
Seems like a good guy.
Seems like a good
Guess
guy.
what? Left Cleveland.
I like him when The Price is Right. He's been a nice replacement, if you can replace Bob Barker. Bob Barker's still alive?
I believe he is. Yes.
Billy Madison didn't kill him?
No.
Or I mean,
Well,
Happy.
Barker won that fight.
I mean, Happy Gilmore,
Yeah.
not Billy Madison. You excited for the Super Bowl, Joe? I'm really excited.
I am. I'm very excited for the Super Bowl. I am like Vegas. I am on the fence about this game.
Yeah.
I think it's a great matchup. It's a great matchup of, the young up and coming coach, the veteran coach who's never won the big one, two extremely talented teams on both sides of the ball, both sides of both teams, both sides of the ball, tons of playmakers. I think that's what is kind of most exciting to me about this game. You look at even say Patriots-Rams last year, Aaron Donald, I think is a guy that you look at that Rams defense and you say this guy's a playmaker. Gurley was obviously hurt last year. I think the Rams receiving core, they make a lot of plays, but I think more scheme-wise than anything. Patriots have never really been a team where you talk about on either side of the ball like tons of playmakers. This is the complete opposite of that. On both sides of the ball, you have guys who are game-changing players by themselves. From, Honey Badger, Bosa, guys on the defensive side of the ball. Obviously Mahomes. Obviously the receiving core, like multiple guys on the receiving core. Tyreek Hill, both tight ends. It's just it's going, and actually what I think it is this game is going to come down. Vince Lombardi used to say there's 5 big plays in every football game, and which team is going to have more of those 5 big plays. And I think this game is going to come down to, those which one of those playmakers makes a huge play.
Yeah. This game could go any way. Like, I wouldn't be shocked if this was a blowout. This is one of those few games where it's supposed to be close, right?
I'd be surprised if it's a Niners blowout.
Why?
I think as good as the Niners defense is, Andy Reid attacking a zone scheme, I could see the Niners finding a way to control the Chiefs' offense enough that they can win the game.
Yeah.
But I don't see I would be surprised if the Niners stop the Chiefs' offense enough and simultaneously score enough that it's a blowout. And obviously a blowout, like I feel like in football, more than 2 touchdowns is in a Super Bowl game, more than 2. You wouldn't normally call like a 2-touchdown game a blowout, but I would say a 17-point game is a blowout. I don't see the Niners winning a 17-0 football game, and I don't see the Niners winning a 34-17 football game.
Yeah.
I can see the Niners winning.
Yeah.
I would be less surprised by a Chiefs blowout, just the Chiefs just going like, man, Mahomes, this is his true coming out party. Mahomes has a 5-touchdown Super Bowl. I could see that happening. Do I think that's going to happen? No, but I could see that happening way more likely than the Niners blowing out the Chiefs.
If I asked you, who has the most pressure to win of any player, any coach, would you say Andy Reid?
I think it's got to be.
Right?
If you look at both of these teams, nobody on either of these teams has been in the league long enough where this pressure for them to have to perform, to show what they can do, to reach the top of the mountain, matches the pressure of Andy Reid. I mean, if you're a guy like Richard Sherman and you don't have a Super Bowl, and you're a guy who's
But he does.
Right. And you're a guy who's quote unquote been one of the best defensive backs in the league for, 9 years, maybe. But first of all, he does have a Super Bowl, and even then, I don't think that's the same. Andy Reid went to 4 straight NFC Championship games, only made 1 Super Bowl, lost the Super Bowl he got to. I think it's Andy Reid, and it's not. I don't really even think that there's anybody in his class in terms of something to prove.
Is there a coach that we can think of that has had his success and never won the big title?
Off the top of my head, I can't think of one because Andy Reid's just had so much success.
Marv Levy?
Yeah.
I mean, the Super Bowls or the Bills made 4 straight Super Bowls.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's. I guess that would be the
equivalent.
But I mean, even Marv Levy. How long did Marv Levy? I feel like Marv Levy's Bills run was his coaching run, and that was it. I mean, we're talking about Andy Reid again. 4 straight NFC Championship games and a Super Bowl loss in how long was the Eagles coach? 15 years. Then he goes to the Chiefs. He's already got multiple playoff appearances in his 5th year with the Chiefs. 6th year with the Chiefs. 2 straight AFC Championship games, a Super Bowl. Like, we're talking about now a guy who has had major success, consistent success across both conferences, going back, basically 20 years.
Yeah. I mean, that's crazy to think that. The Eagles played the Patriots in what? It was the 2004 season. I do know that because I was still in school. I mean, yeah, that's
and that was the 4th of 4
straight NFC championship
So it's
games.
been more than 20 years.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, because now we're talking about 2020, and that wasn't his first 4 seasons with the Eagles.
And not just football. If you look at other professional sports, what's the compare? Like, it's tough to find a comparison of someone who's had so much success without a title.
Showalter,
Buck Showalter.
Showalter didn't get one and with the Yankees, and then they won basically immediately after he left.
But the longevity.
Yeah, but he's a similar guy where he's
Jerry Sloan maybe
he's
for the
bounced
Jazz.
around. Yeah, the problem with Jerry Sloan is like he made 2 finals at the end. Like before that,
True.
yeah, they were he was a great coach, and they were kind of a consistent playoff team. But like, really, it was kind of a shocker that the Jazz made those 2 finals.
Yeah.
I
feel like people aren't like, how people all root for somebody, they want to see them win. I don't get that vibe with Andy Reid. I feel like people enjoy.
I feel like I
You disagree?
Yeah.
I feel like people enjoy him being the butt of the joke.
I'm not that guy. I like Andy Reid.
Yeah.
Certainly seems like a good guy.
No, but do you think I'm right? I feel like people like making jokes.
I don't know. I feel like in the last 2 weeks I've gotten a sense of the majority of sort of NFL fans when you take out the Broncos, Raiders, Chargers, like when you take out like the division, I feel like the majority of people like want to see Andy Reid get one.
Yeah.
I feel like if you took a poll, like which coach of these two do people want to see win more, I think Andy Reid would win in a landslide.
Yeah.
I'm not really like I don't really have a strong opinion on Andy Reid either way. Like obviously he was an Eagles coach, so I'm like fuck him. But I've always mocked the Andy Reid, time management situation, which again I still don't think he's good at. But I'm sure you listened to the episode Tug and I did. I think Patrick Mahomes has basically disabled that fail button by being like we can score in 35 seconds from anywhere on the field.
Yeah.
Which was incredible.
Which we'll get to is one of the prop bets, which
Yeah.
I love to tease that. There is a prop bet. Will either team have a scoring drive quicker than how long it takes to sing the national anthem? And I'm going to say yes.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Just because of how quickly the Chiefs can score. Now, I've also seen a lot about Shanahan, and this is his makeup game for the 28-3 Falcons blowing the Super Bowl. I kind of don't like that, to be honest, because he wasn't the head coach.
Right.
I think it's a little different that he was the offensive coordinator. Have you seen these? I've seen a lot of these
I have.
articles. And I'm not a fan because, again, that was one side of the ball. I ultimately, from my vantage point, Praino, I put that Falcons meltdown on the defense.
I actually disagree.
Okay.
They
give up too many points.
Sure, they give up too many points, but I actually put a lot of that game, and I've said it before, on Shanahan and on Matt Ryan. Because there was, again, as much as you want to say they give up too many points, prior to the sack, and was it the sack fumble in the third quarter? There was a moment in that game.
Third or fourth quarter.
Yeah, I think it was like late in the third quarter or middle of the third quarter. There was a moment in that game in the third quarter where legitimately, if the Falcons had taken 3 knees and started punting, they win the game. Like legitimately, if you look at the time,
yeah,
3 knees and a punt. It's only because of a couple of horrific play calls. And again, I think, a play call's only horrific when it doesn't work. If it works, then everybody says you're a genius. And I'm a Matt Ryan fan, and I think anybody who has listened to the show knows that I think Matt Ryan's a little bit underappreciated, in my opinion, for what he's done in the league. I think a lot of people sweep him under as like, yeah, okay, Matt Ryan. But I put that Super Bowl a lot on him because there was a couple plays in that game where it's like, dude, lay down. Everybody likes to mock the fucking Eli Manning like, oh, he laid down. Matt Ryan lays down on a couple of plays in that game, and they probably still win. But the sack fumble, it was literally the turning point in the game, and it was the only thing that gave him life. Even that one play, you punt there. Remember, that game went to overtime, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, like we're talking about it took everything for them to come back. And I actually do put a lot of it on Shanahan and on Matt Ryan. Just you can't. Everybody wants to fucking be the hip coach that never takes their foot off the gas. Look at Belichick. Like Belichick will start running out the clock in the first half. He'll start going like, "We have a lead. Don't fucking give it up now."
But I think Shanahan's going to be aware of that. Obviously, the Chiefs' offense can score so damn quickly. And that's what's great for the Niners. They run the ball. They can control the clock.
Yeah.
They can keep the ball out of Patrick Mahomes' hands. And to me, that's going to be the key. Can the 49ers run the ball? Because if they can run the ball and just reduce the number of times the Chiefs have the ball, that has to be their game plan, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's 100% their game plan. I mean, look at that. That was their game plan against Aaron Rodgers, who I think a lot of people believe or agree with me that he's the only guy that we're even talking about. I know he had a down year this year and a lot, whatever his career's on the downswing or whatever, but they certainly treated him last week like whatever we do, don't give Aaron Rodgers a ton of opportunities.
Yeah.
And I think that's a strategy that they're absolutely going to use in this game. But I also believe Shanahan 2 weeks ago, he stuck with it because they never stopped it.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see what Spagnuolo comes up with in terms of stopping this running game.
Sure. Where will you be watching the Super Bowl?
It's a great question. I don't know. My injury has thrown a lot of things in question. I was originally planning on going to Goldberg's. There was some talk of a Goldberg doing a Super Bowl party again, followed by a little poker. I love poker, but that's a lot of travel, and it's a long time in the car. I think you've seen for me how difficult it is for me to be in the car. It was tough for me to get from my house to your place today, and that's 3 minutes.
Why don't you just plop on my couch here for the Super Bowl?
I also got invited to another friend, my friend Dave Briggs' place here in Santa Monica. It's pretty close. I think it's just going to be a game time decision.
Yeah.
But I could very well be here.
What will you be drinking during the Super Bowl?
I mean, is that really a question, Andy?
No.
It's the Super Bowl. It's America's Day. A lot of people have petitioned for Super Bowl Monday to be a national holiday, which I actually think it should be. At this point, we gotta own it. It's Super Bowl Sunday is a day for queso dip, for wings, for pizza, for beer,
And friends. And being social.
And let's be honest, if you're a real American, you're gonna watch a game that is played predominantly here in the United States of America. You're kind of a clown if you go out and you get a foreign beer, right? So I, like a good patriot, am going to be drinking America's greatest beer, Miller Lite.
You will?
Yeah. The official sponsor of the Dirty Sports Podcast, Andy.
Oh!
Are you not correcting me? You love to tell me it's not the official sponsor of the Dirty Sports Podcast.
I am not, because as of today, Miller Lite.
A long-time dream has come true.
Let's cheers to that. I'll take a sip with you. Miller Lite, it's Miller time. The original social media. That's right, guys. You know what I love about this? My family loves Miller Lite. I have so many good memories. Oh, it tastes good, Praino. I'm not going to lie.
You know why it tastes good, Andy? Because it's the original light beer.
It is.
Tastes different because it's brewed different. A fine American Pilsner. Andy?
Joe, is this the greatest day of your life that we now have an official sponsorship with Miller Lite? Dirtballs, this is not a joke. This is real.
How long has this been happening? This is a pre-Dirty Sports. I've been pushing for Miller Lite to sponsor things in my life.
Yeah.
We're going back to the Kooks. We're going back to everything. Like, I have said, what do I need to do, Miller Lite? And finally, They heard the call. Finally, they picked up the bat phone. Finally, they saw all the dirt balls saying, "I drink Miller Lite because of Joe Praino," and they said, "It's time.
Yeah.
It's official. It is officially official."
So I want all the dirt balls to do this. I want you to grab a nice cold Miller Lite, share it with your friends. Again, Miller Lite's all about getting off your phones, enjoying your friends, your family, having a nice cold one at the Super Bowl. Take some pictures. Let our friends at Miller Lite know on social media that you support them just like you support dirty sports. Because when there's a great tasting 96-calorie Miller Lite, friends should always come before followers. Get off the phones, hang out with your friends, enjoy life.
Watch the game with real friends. You know, get into the Super Bowl, get into the party.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. I don't want anybody taking out their phone during the Super Bowl for anything. The first and basically only reason I want you to take out your phone during the Super Bowl is to share with me, Joe Praino, that you have Miller Lite at your Super Bowl party. There's 2 rules, Andy, about the Super Bowl that you know I am very strict about. 1, you do not wear the jersey of a team that is not playing. The original cuck cam, as we call it.
Yes.
If you show up to your Super Bowl party in your Steelers jersey, you're a jerk. You're a dork. It's over. Your season's over.
Yeah.
You don't do it.
Don't do it.
It's not, well, it's a celebration of football. No, it's not. It's a celebration of 2 teams fighting for 1 trophy. That's
right.
rule number 1. Rule number 2, Miller Lite.
That's
There
right.
should be Miller Lite at your Super Bowl party.
Nothing but Miller Lite.
Come on. It's not a day for, having pasta. I'm an Italian man. I love pasta for every good occasion. It's not a day for pasta.
Yeah.
It's a day for pizza and wings. It's not a day for red wine. It's a day for Miller Lite.
That's right, guys. And when there's a great tasting 96-calorie Miller Lite, friends should always come before followers. Here's to the original light beer. Here's to the original social media. It's Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces.
Andy, I want you to say it again because you mocked me so many times when I've said it before on the show. Say it. Say Miller Lite is
the official sponsor of the Dirty Sports Podcast.
Feels good.
It feels damn good. So tip up those drinks and let's make a big cheers to our friends at Miller Lite. We've been holding on to that for a minute.
It's very exciting.
Very exciting.
Yeah.
And there's more to come with that.
There's a lot more to come.
There's a lot more to come with our friends at Miller Lite. And let's just be frank, Joe. 2020 has not been the best start for either of us. But Miller Lite has brought some much-needed great news.
Yeah. For all the disappointment we've had in 3 weeks of 2020, it's nice to know that I can come home to an old friend that's always there when I need them. Miller Lite.
A great friend for you.
Yeah.
A friend in need. Always there to support you.
Yep. Sometimes, when I'm not feeling so hot, this knee situation, I'll call you for a little help. I'll call my girlfriend for a little help. I'll call some other friends for help. But when I need it and no one else is around, I'm just a couple little hobbles away from my fridge. Swing it open, and there's my oldest friend. Great American Pilsner.
Now, back to the game. What are your predictions, Joe Praino? We're gonna get to the prop bets here in a few minutes, but what are your predictions game in? Now, obviously, I alluded that they have to control the clock, in my opinion. What's the biggest challenge for the 49ers defense?
I think the biggest challenge to the 49ers defense is that the 49ers defense plays majority of a zone. They play a lot of zone. Your boy, Dickie Sherman, has always been a zone corner. They get to quarterbacks. They have, the best, if not if not the best, right up there with the best pass rush in the league. They have a ton of talent on their defensive line. They're able to rotate guys in and out. They get after the quarterback. Mahomes, not an easy quarterback to get after. I think Andy Reid is going to have a strategy with attacking the 49ers zone. And I think the biggest challenge for the 49ers defense is going to be getting to Patrick Mahomes often, which I think, again, Andy Reid is going to have a plan of attack for, moving him out of the pocket. And I think it's just going to be not letting them get big chunk yardage. And by chunk yardage, I mean 15, 18, 20-yard plays where they exploit holes in the zone. Andy Reid has always been really good after a bye. This is essentially a bye week. He has 2 weeks to prepare for the team. He's been breaking down film a ton. I just think that there's the potential, as opposed to those games where Patrick Mahomes, little dink and dunk, and then a 60-yarder, I think that there's potential of these a lot of 8-play touchdown drives, 15, 20, these chunk plays, and I think the biggest issue for the Niners is going to be if you're not playing man and you're not pressing up on these guys the way, obviously, if you look at the way my Giants attacked Tom Brady in 2 Super Bowls, getting up and saying, you only have to cover these guys for a couple seconds. We're going to get to the fucking quarterback. Their defensive line, way better than a lot of defensive lines that have been put in this position.
Well, I'd argue, right, it's the best defensive line right now in the NFL.
I think for absolutely on a player-by-player basis. Like, I don't think that they had the most sacks in the league or the most QB pressures or anything like that, but they're right up there.
Yeah.
And they've obviously, turned it on come playoff time. But it's a dangerous game. It's like, it's almost like a college basketball, like sort of a Jim Boeheim thing. If you're going to play the zone and the other team comes out and is making their fucking jump shots, you're going to be up Schitt's Creek fast. So I'm just hoping that Andy Reid has sort of a backup strategy, or that Spagnuolo has a couple different looks to throw at him during this game. But I will say, you asked me my predictions. To me, and obviously Vegas doesn't agree, but to me, in a way, you look at this game and you go, how did the Chiefs not win? But I've been burned so many times, especially in Super Bowls, by taking the hot team with a ton of playmakers, and I'm going with the defense this time.
Yeah.
Nick's chomping at the bit over there.
What's going on, Nick?
Well, first of all, thank you, Derek Sperry, for the generous donation. Wants to tell Joey to get well. Hope the docs rebuilt you better, faster, stronger. In terms of the Super Bowl, though, I kind of get the 2014 Super Bowl vibes in my head when it's Denver versus Seattle, number 1 offense of the league, going up against the number 1 defense of the league.
I like
Richard
this.
Sherman on both teams as well.
I like this.
If the 49ers cannot get off to a hot start in the beginning of the game and just run the ball down the Chiefs' throat, which their defense is susceptible to do, Andy Reid. I got Niners with a slight edge in this game.
Coming in hot, Nicky D. I like it. I like that analysis. I like the Niners, too.
Well, there we go. And it's over.
Well,
and the dream is dead.
Here's why I like the Niners.
I am now shoving all of my money on the Chiefs.
I like the Niners because of what I said earlier. I think they're going to be able to control the clock enough. I don't think the Niners defense can 100% maintain Patrick Mahomes. Who can?
Absolutely, yeah.
No one's been able to do that. No one has done what Patrick Mahomes has done, and that offense the last couple of years. It's unattainable at the end of the day. But I think Shanahan is smart enough to run the ball. And I think the Chiefs' defense, while it's much improved from last year, I still think there's enough holes in it for the Niners to control a little game clock. But I also think Jimmy G is going to, at some point, he's going to have to make some throws.
Yeah.
We've been critical of other guys. I don't see Do you see the Niners running the ball for 200 yards? I mean, that's insane.
Possibly, but I don't. But I certainly don't see them having. I don't see them having the plan of attack again. I don't necessarily think their plan of attack was to throw the ball 6 times in the Packers game, but they just never stopped their run.
Yeah.
So I do think that their plan of attack is going to be similar. Let's get that run going. This is the basis for our team. Let's, again, it's so funny because we love to break down quarterback play on this show. We love to talk about stats. We love to talk about what guys were able to do in big moments. And as I said, I think it was last episode, comparing quarterback play to, Kobe versus LeBron or, Jeter versus A-Rod, it's so not the same because here's the thing. If Jimmy G comes out and they throw the ball 6 times, and that's not necessarily a negative on Jimmy Garoppolo if they win the game the way they did against the Packers. Now, on the opposite side, much as I was very critical of the Colts this year with Joji Brucoli, they would run the ball when they needed to throw it because I believe Frank Reich didn't believe. I believe Shanahan is fine with Jimmy G. Thinks he can make the throws. Thinks he can make the plays. But he's not going to put him in that position if he doesn't need to. And here's why. When you have a great defensive line, the thing that takes them to the next level, and this is always the thing we go back to people saying, Eli Manning was carried by his defense. First, you have to have an offense that is letting those guys sit on the bench and recharge so that when they come back in the game, they can go full tilt at the quarterback. If you're 3-and-outing, there's not a lot of times you see teams go 3-and-out on offense and their defense just stay on it and stay getting the guys. It all goes together in football. The Chip Kelly in Philadelphia Eagles fans love Chip Kelly the first year that he went fucking 11-5 or whatever it was. And you're like, guys, the idea that your head coach in the NFL doesn't believe in time of possession is a joke. The Niners need to run the ball, not just to establish the run, not just because maybe or maybe not they want to keep the Jimmy Garoppolo from having to throw the ball a ton. They need to keep that defensive line fresh because on defense for the Niners, this entire game is their D-line versus Patrick Mahomes. That's the game. Are they going to be able to get to him? Are they going to be able to make him, make throws he doesn't want to make? Nick was talking about, Peyton Manning versus that Seahawks team. And while I like the comparison, a huge difference is that was old Peyton Manning. They were a timing routes. They were a 8-yard out for get some yak. They never had the ability to throw the ball 30 yards downfield, ever. So if you're going to put a quarterback behind the 8-ball, that's great if he can't make plays down the field. Patrick Mahomes can be down, as we've seen, 21, 24 points. He is one throw away from being back in the game at all times. So I think the Niners have to run the ball to give their defense a shot of getting Mahomes. Get them out there, full juice every time. They need long drives, and they need to get that defensive line out there fresh.
I like the Niners in a close one.
I like the Niners in a close one too, but also I think that this game is going to be a great Super Bowl. And I think it's going to be a great Super Bowl because the Chiefs, I think, how much time left in a game against the Chiefs down 14 till they're out of it? Legitimately. If the Chiefs are down 14 in this football game, how much time left on the clock in the fourth quarter where you're like, okay, it's looking likely it's over? 3 minutes?
Pending the timeout situation, I'd even go down to 2. They score so quickly. And the receivers that the Chiefs have. are just so quick.
I've just been burned so many times in Super Bowls on going against the better defense in situations like this where the offense was so good. I mean, you go back to that Patriots-Rams game. You know, that's more what I'm thinking of in this game than even, what Nick said. It's like you have an offense that has all the ability.
But you also have Jared Goff versus Patrick Mahomes.
I'm talking about going back the original.
Oh.
Greatest show on turf versus the original, the game manager, Tom Brady. I think that's where we're at with Garoppolo. That's where we're at with their defense.
I like that. That's a good comparison. You know what? I recently, NFL Network re-aired that, I don't know, a couple months ago. I basically watched the whole thing. And that defense, they came back. The Rams came back. But the Patriots, they led the whole game.
Right. And, I know now that we're, six Tom Brady Belichick rings into this. We look back across the whole dynasty or multiple dynasties, if you will want to consider it that way. That's kind of what I do. The two separate dynasties. But you look back at that whole run, people act like, the Patriots were unstoppable. Those first couple, they both came down to field goals.
Yeah.
And that's where I think that's what this game is going to come down to. I think it is going to come down to a late drive and who has the ball last. And, if you're – I almost feel like if you're the Niners in this game, as much as you want to get out to a lead and as much as you want to run the ball and control the game, unlike unlike so many teams that have a great defense, I don't think the Niners want the Chiefs having the ball with a shot to win this game. I think if you asked Shanahan right now, how do you feel about being up 4 with 58 seconds to go, kicking off to the Chiefs? I don't think he takes that situation right now, as good as his defense is. I wouldn't take it if I were them. I almost feel like if you're in the Niners, you want the ball last in this football game, one way or the other.
Yeah. I'm actually surprised that Niners defensive coordinator Robert Saleh did not get a head coaching job. He's intense. He's done a great job. He's ripped. Have you seen how ripped that dude is?
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude's jacked.
Look, it's a great. He also has a great job.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing. And the turnaround in NFL coaching right now goes so fast. I know he got a lot of interviews, but it could be a blessing in disguise. The next job up could be the one that he really wants.
Do we see a Patrick Mahomes State Farm commercial while he's also playing in the Super Bowl? Do we see a new one? I'm going to say no.
I don't think it's likely that we see a new one because he would have had to film that then,
Sure.
right? Unless did he film one during the bye week that they're?
That's the question. I did not see that on any prop bets, but I think that'd be an interesting bet.
I think that they're just gonna beat the ones we know into the ground.
Yeah. So we don't think there's going to be a new one.
I'm going to say no, but who fucking knows?
Yeah. Maybe his girlfriend will film her own. She's on the social media stuff pretty big, right?
Yeah. She got a lot of she got a big bump from the I feel like she's been doing this her whole kind of career as his girlfriend. She's been his girlfriend since high school, I believe. But I feel like just during the AFC Championship game, a lot of people discovered what some people already knew, which she is a disaster on social media.
How does that move work? You stay with the same girl. That's an interesting move. The high school sweetheart?
Well, again,
was that a Steph Curry move too?
That was a Steph Curry move, but it was also like a Russell Wilson move until it wasn't. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, he stayed with her until he's 2 years into the league, 3 years into the league. Is he still with her 20 years in the league? I don't know. We'll see.
The doomsday clock on that relationship is moving, is what you're saying.
Look, if I'm Patrick Mahomes, and that's like I'm definitely on a cool it on social media. Like her social media is a disaster.
I haven't looked. I've seen things.
She just screams.
I've seen things.
She just fucking screams, literally. She's in the box, yelling. That's like ah. It's like a fucking. It's like the Kermit the Frog when he's like screaming meme.
His girlfriend isn't actually the only disaster on social media that's related to Patrick Mahomes.
His brother also a disaster.
Jackson
And
Mahomes.
they do it together a lot.
They do it together.
They hang a lot.
On TikTok, the over-under is set for 5.5 TikToks for Jackson Mahomes.
Okay, can we discuss TikTok for a minute? I know this is an NFL Super Bowl preview show. You're a young kid over here, Nick.
Yeah.
What is the advantage of TikTok versus Instagram?
Copyright. You can post videos with like popular music, and it's all under this umbrella of copyright. So you can just it's like the new meme format, like Vine. You know, short videos.
So you could post someone's song under your video.
And also a lot like the original thing that I saw. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not on TikTok. I've never actually logged on TikTok. I've seen a lot of TikToks. But the original, when I first started seeing clips of it, a lot of it was people using audio, not even necessarily music, but like using movie clips, sounds, stuff from TV shows, whatever, and then sort of lip syncing,
Dubbing over it.
dubbing,
Yep.
audio.
Yeah, so TikTok actually used to be the app called Musical.ly. So it would be like a song, and then you would just like kind of lip sync over it. And then they kind of rebranded themselves a couple years back to become kind of like a social media Vine vibe to it.
Now, we'll have to get a Bresler tweet about this, but I'm pretty sure TikTok's run by like the Chinese Communist Party.
Correct.
It is.
And then
it's a Chinese social media app. That's why
Yeah.
I won't use it. So look here, guys. I will draw the line there. Everything probably I'm wearing, China. This whole apartment, China.
But I will draw the line at.
I'm drawing the line at TikTok. At least right now. As of now. Now, if somebody's like, dude, you got to get on TikTok, I might change. But
That's what's going to change you? Dude, you got to get on TikTok. All right, well, communism ain't that bad.
I just don't understand because it's like I always have this discussion. It's the same thing. Joe, you and I have had this discussion. It's like Snapchat versus Instagram. Instagram has all the features of Snapchat, but in my opinion, better. So it's like, why would you be on Snapchat?
I think so for me, TikTok is kind of a way to stay ahead of the curve of like what's trending in like the meme world. You know how like you got to stay woke with all these new trends. Meme have a half-life nowadays of like a week. And if you can get ahead of the curve on some quality internet content before it gets blown up to the Twitter sphere, then I think that's an invaluable thing to have. So just to finish up this whole Jackson Mahomes thing, he's actually averaging around 1 to 2 TikToks per day on NFL Sunday games he attends for the Chiefs. His most TikToks in one day is when he attended the TikTok headquarters, where he had 7 TikToks in one day. That was on January 24th. The 5.5 over/under on Jackson Mahomes.
Who is that?
TikTok,
What line is that from?
I found this on Twitter. It was a prop bet website. I don't have it anymore. I wrote all these down though.
So 5.5 TikToks from Jackson.
I'm pounding the under on this.
Is
Okay.
is Jackson Mahomes, is he his younger brother?
Yes.
So how old is Jackson Mahomes?
No idea. But he is his younger brother. So
You know,
I'm thinking early 20s.
I want to say something to my brothers. Only one of them, I think, listens to this show, so he can relate to their brothers. The fact that I have 4 brothers and none of you could have been good enough athletically for me to just make a career off my social media because you're a good athlete. It's kind of disappointing. I'm just going to say 5 boys, not one of us could become a pro athlete, not one. Look at the Watt brothers. Look at the Bosa brothers. Look at all these brothers. Not one Ruther could make it, and I could
Who do you think had the best opportunity? Who had the best package put together?
This is a great question. We actually had this discussion.
I mean, I think based solely on the little bit I know, I'm going to say Brad.
It could be. We just had this
Just
discussion.
in terms of I feel like his build gives him the best chance across various sports. You
but
know
I'd
what I mean?
say athletically, I know I might take some shit for this from my brothers. I think athletically, my little brother Mark, he was always a really good athlete, and he was tough as hell. Like, he used to hit on the football field, and he was quiet too. I think it's maybe because he had older brothers. He learned.
What are we talking size-wise, though? Because it's going to be limited.
He's my build.
Yeah. So it maybe if your dad had gotten him into like tennis early or something like that.
Or mixed martial arts. Like Mark was a really good wrestler.
Okay, yeah, mixed martial arts,
And then he boxed at Air Force.
strong. Boxing's usually pretty good at the academies.
Yeah. But now
It's
Brad.
like the last places in college sports that like give a shit about the boxing.
Yeah. It's a good question. I mean, I'd probably be the lowest on the list as far as going pro. Like, let's not. Actually, I would. Let's just be honest. But again, you see these families. It's wild. Like who are the big families in the NFL? The Watt brothers, the Bosa brothers.
Yeah.
Who else am I missing?
The Gronkowskis.
The Gronkowskis. They're just churning out professional athletes.
Yeah.
It's a farm. And that's a great gig. You piggyback your sibling or your significant other to build your social media. Talk about no work. I gotta see these videos of Mahomes' girl. You want to get to these prop bets?
Sure, let's do it.
Well, today's NFL.
So before we do that, I just want to. Are we all on? We're all on the Niners in a close one.
I am, yeah.
Okay.
I think it's all three.
So look, for sure the Chiefs are winning then.
Yeah, I think once you jumped in, we were done for.
I cursed them.
Yeah, I feel like you did.
For sure the Chiefs are winning.
I'm not super strong and like I don't want to get burned again by a great defense in the Super Bowl. But now I'm like, God, am I going to get burned by Ruther in the Super Bowl?
So the Ruther curse is kind of like in limbo right now because over the past 2 days I've been hitting Andy with like little questions because on my Madden game you can do prop bets and you can, I'm asking him questions. So I asked him who's going to win the Super Bowl. He said 49ers. I asked him who's going to win Super Bowl MVP. He said Patrick Mahomes. So who's he cursing?
Well, look, I said, obviously those are contradictory statements. I said Mahomes first. Whatever. I'm not very adamant about either team. I think the 49ers win in a close one, but that's a 50-50 pick for me. But let's get to the prop bets. We got some great prop bets. Today's NFL sports betting segment, as always, is brought to you by our friends at GTP Picks. Listen up, dirtballs. If you're still paying your bookie every week, you need to get help from our friends at GTP Picks. It's a data-driven sports betting service that offers winning sports betting advice at an affordable price. So follow their advice and win. It's really that simple. And this is what I love, Joe. Listen to this. This Sunday, GTP Picks will be hosting a Super Bowl 54 contest. If you can correctly guess the winner of Super Bowl 54 with the correct final score, you win a brand new Oculus Quest virtual reality system.
Wow. I always wanted a virtual reality system.
Dude, I've used the Oculus. The mayor has the Oculus. I've used it at his apartment. He's brought it up here. It is amazing. Game changer. I'll say it. Everyone says, Ruther says this all the time now. It's wild. So if you can correctly guess the winner of Super Bowl 54 with the correct final score, you win a brand new Oculus Quest virtual reality system. It's that easy. All contest participants will receive every GTP Super Bowl 54 sports betting recommendations for free. Guys, that's free. To enter the contest, all you need to do, listen up, write this down, enter the contest. It's totally free. Visit gtppicks.com/contest. Once again, that's gtppicks.com/contest. Put that in the comment section, Nick. Let everybody know. If you like making money while watching sports, investing with GTP Picks is a no-brainer. And this really is a no-brainer to enter this contest. It's free. You can possibly win an Oculus. So go ahead and do that. And also, they're going to give you great advice on the prop bets, which we are about to get to, Joe Praino. We have some great prop bets. We'll mow through some of these and get you moving. Let's start with the national anthem, as we always do.
Yep.
Demi Lovato has risen from the dead. Right?
What? I don't know.
She almost died. She almost overdosed.
Okay. Didn't know that.
Yeah, it's she.
I've just recently, and I did this with John Legend and Common, I believe. Like, there's a while where I didn't realize those were two different people. I just figured out very recently. I'm not going to say how recently. This morning, that Demi Lovato and Selena Gomez are different people.
Yeah.
Did not know.
Don't look alike at all. I don't know how you mix those two up.
Yeah. Don't know what either of them look like. Couldn't pick either one of them out of a lineup right now.
Selena
If you put Demi Lovato, Selena Gomez, and like the youngest Kardashian, which I don't know her name,
a Jenner.
Sure. Into a lineup, I'm not sure I would get 2 out of 3 right.
I believe it's Kylie Jenner.
Okay, you say so.
Yeah. Although Caitlyn's technically only been Caitlyn for 5 years.
Okay.
Would that make her the youngest Jenner?
No, she's been a Jenner her whole life, right?
Okay, good point. Anyway, Lovato sounds, I could be wrong, sounds Italian. Gomez,
okay,
Spanish.
Sure.
There's your difference there.
Okay.
All right, so Demi Lovato is singing the national anthem. We have the over-under at 2 minutes. We're at minus 190 for the over, plus 120 for the under. I don't know Demi Lovato's songs. What are her famous songs, Nick? Do you know by any chance? Does Nick know? He doesn't know either.
I mean, it doesn't really matter for this, right?
Well, just kind of her singing style. She's obviously...
Well, here's what I know about
she's
this.
She's pop.
First of all, and this is important, over 2 minutes is minus 190. So they think it's going over for sure. Under 2 minutes is plus 120. I think if you're looking for a bet on this, this is a stay away, simply because they think it's going to be over. She has sung the national anthem once before, and I think that's what they set the number at. Is she came in right around 2 minutes, and you're looking. Everything takes longer in the Super Bowl. Yeah. Halftime takes longer. Pre-games takes longer. The game goes. The gameplay itself goes faster. I think it's gonna be over, and Vegas is telling you it's gonna be over.
Yeah.
And honestly, if you're going to bet the under, the idea that you're only getting plus 120, this is a stay away. Unless you're one of those guys who goes like, I'm going to put $5,000 on the under and just take my minus 190.
Yeah.
So I'm staying away from this, because I think it's for sure over.
You wanted some Lovato songs?
Yeah, give me a couple of Demi Lovato songs that I don't know.
I'm not gonna lie, I haven't heard like half of these. Sorry Not Sorry.
Yeah, I know that one.
Stone Cold. Sober. Confident. Heart Attack. Anyone.
I know.
Tell Me You Love Me.
I know a few of those.
You do.
I do. But if you played them for me, maybe I don't know them. So the answer to that is I probably don't know them. Demi Lovato, none of us know, and she's huge. I feel old, but Nick not knowing helps me. The fact that you're, 23?
Like Demi Lovato never really broke through the way she was supposed to.
I honestly honestly don't know what Demi Lovato looks like.
Okay, you pull her up.
I need to see who Demi Lovato is.
I want to get to the next one, which is also related to the national anthem. I talked about this earlier. I love this bet, Joe. Will any scoring drive take less than it takes for her to sing the national anthem? Now, Vegas is saying no at minus 500. Yes is at plus 300. So Vegas is saying that there will not be a drive that will take less time than it takes her to sing the national anthem. I'm going to disagree with that.
Yeah.
I think, let's say she sings the national anthem in 2 minutes and 2 seconds or whatever it is. I think the quick strike Kansas City Chiefs will score. And who knows? I mean, the Niners, you can't rule them out. They have some wild run-scoring quick drives.
It's actually kind of amazing to me that this is plus 300 and minus 500. I'm pounding yes, because I think that there's a great chance that both of these teams get long returns. If not, a kickoff return for a touchdown. I got to imagine that's in play, right? A scoring drive, a kickoff returned that's a 7-second scoring drive or whatever, right? Or is that a 0-second? That's got to count.
I'd assume.
But either way, I think that you're going to have a scoring drive that a kickoff where a team starts on the other team's side of the field. Yeah, I'm all in on yes.
Yeah, I don't like the odds on that one. As far
I love the odds on it.
No, I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
I don't like how they're placing the odds. Is what I should
Yeah.
say. All right, let's move on to halftime. The Super Bowl halftime show.
Now, let me ask you something about the three performers. We've got Lovato singing the national anthem. We've got Jennifer Lopez, and we've got Shakira. NFL, we get it. The game's in Miami. Like, what the fuck? Did we overdo this a little bit? Like, is Gloria Estefan and the Miami Sound Machine going to be featured? Is that one of the props?
Well, I don't have that on here.
Because I'd like to place a bet that she does appear.
That is. The prop bets, there's so many. I'm not listing them all, but from where I grabbed, you can bet. Will Gloria Estefan appear? Will Enrique Iglesias appear? Will Mark Anthony, her former husband, appear?
Seems like he's not going to appear, right?
Yeah. Will
Ricky Martin?
Yep, he's on there.
Yeah.
Will Smith, because of his Miami song.
Sure.
Pitbull was on there, correct. The Menudos?
Jimmy Buffett?
No. Menudos didn't make it. Nobody cares about Menudos
By the way,
anymore.
that's the Miami halftime show I want. I want Jimmy Buffett.
What do you want Jimmy Buffett singing?
Oh, fucking all the good Jimmy Buffett jams. I want, I want a Pirate Looks at 40, like open up smooth and slow. Basically the only Jimmy Buffett song I fucking hate, which he would 100% play if he played the Super Bowl, is Fins. I hate Fins.
You don't like Fins?
No, I hate Fins.
Is that the song where he gives Cincinnati a shout out?
Yeah, I think it is.
Just came down from Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Isn't that what he says?
Yeah.
I think it's Fins. Yeah. Cheeseburgers in Paradise?
Love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who doesn't love Buffett?
If you've never been to a Jimmy Buffett concert, it's a must.
And I haven't.
You got to go. We should find out when he's next here. I'll tell you what, Mikey will make a flight out for that. Mikey loves going.
Yeah.
Me and Mikey have been to numerous Jimmy Buffett concerts and have a blast.
My parents used to always go.
Yeah.
It's
It's a thing for Middle America. It's like their one night out of the year. They're like, you know what? We go out every Friday. We have a couple beers, but like once a year we go to Jimmy Buffett. We have 11 margaritas. We vomit on ourselves on the way home.
Yeah.
You see some fucking middle-aged white people at
Oh,
Jimmy
yeah.
Buffett concerts lit.
Yeah.
Lit.
Yeah. Getting turned.
And they go like people turn their trucks into tiki bars and
Oh,
shit
I know.
like people go crazy.
Dude, I know. Walt and Joanne used to get turned at that. Okay, so we have, like you said, it's a very Latina Super Bowl halftime show. You want to get that window, Nick?
So, somebody's driving their remote controlled car.
Which of these Jennifer Lopez? Oh, sorry, I skipped one. How many songs will be played during the halftime show? The over is at 8. The under is at 8, of course. Minus 160 for the over, plus 120 for the under.
I'm going to go under just because 8 seems so high, but it is something that I hate about halftime shows. I hate the fucking medley. I hate the, why are we trying to fit 8 songs into the halftime show?
Yeah.
Play 4 kick-ass, play your 4 best, and just crush them.
Yeah.
I don't need 8 songs. Honestly, I got to say, I've made fun of a lot of halftime shows in my day. I think this one might be the worst selection of people I've ever fucking seen.
Why?
Shakira and Jennifer Lopez, I have zero interest in watching any of this.
I don't mind J-Lo.
I wish there was
J-Lo's huge. I mean, they're
I
both.
wish there was the Puppy Bowl still. I wish there was the fucking.
I think it still exists.
They need a Miller Lite Bowl.
Yeah.
I need another option.
Yeah.
I hate this halftime show. I'd rather watch Maroon 5. I'd rather watch Maroon 10. Give me Maroon 5 twice than Jennifer Lopez.
I disagree.
She's 50.
Doesn't matter. She still looks great.
Great. So have her stand there while a real performer plays.
I think you're disrespecting J-Lo.
Okay.
What do you mean?
You excited for this? Have you ever heard El Anillo in your life?
Well, hold on. Before I answer that, Joe, she can still perform. You're kind of disrespecting her performance. To be honest, I would much rather see Jennifer Lopez than Maroon 5, without a doubt.
Okay. We couldn't be more on different pages here.
An attractive woman moving around the stage I mean, come on. Then Maroon 5,
At least Maroon 5's playing instruments.
they can't dance like J-Lo. Dude, it's going to look good. I love Shakira. Like, visually. You know, her music's all right.
You know she's like 4'9", right?
Yeah, I'm also 5'9", so
Yeah.
what are we talking about here? You know, we're not all 6'4", Joe.
I know. If you're under 5 feet tall, I can't.
You can't.
No, can't even. It looks weird to me. It's kind of, talk about Hobbit vibes over here. Fucking Bilbo behind the desk. Imagine if he was 4'9".
Is that
Bilbo
is that Nick's new nickname?
Yeah.
Bilbo?
Yeah.
How do you feel about that, Nick? Is that a little disrespectful?
Frodo's just like too easy, Frodo's like the too easy. I had to go Bilbo.
You're Bilbo Baggins?
I'm gonna have to look up. Because I'm not into Lord of the Rings,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna have to Google this reference just to.
So he's been calling you this for a week, and you've had no clue what it meant.
No, absolutely not. I thought you said dildo at first. Honestly, I'm like, okay.
He thought his nickname was Dildo. All right. Which of these Jennifer Lopez songs will be sung first at halftime? The odds are at plus 400, On the Floor, Jenny from the Block, plus 425, Let's Get Loud, plus 450, Live It Up, plus 600, Get Right, plus 700, El Anillo, plus 900, Waiting for Tonight, plus 1100, If You Had My Love, plus 1200, and Love Don't Cost a Thing, plus 1200.
So I'm just looking up On the Floor. I assume On the Floor is one of her new songs.
I'd assume too, because I'm not familiar with that.
On the Floor, Jennifer Lopez. Okay. On the Floor featuring Pitbull is 2011 song. So not that new.
Ooh, that means a Pitbull cameo could happen.
I'm going to go Let's Get Loud at 450. Seems like a good.
Oh, and I forgot these ones.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't think it's Que Holiste. I'm going to go.
No little Jenny from the Block.
I just don't think, not to open it up. If On the Floor, if I had looked it up and On the Floor was 2017, I would have gone On the Floor. Because artists love to, especially in these things, they love to promote their new shit to like get you to buy something you hadn't heard of yet.
Yeah.
And then follow it up with their big ones. I don't know if any of those other ones, if any of these other songs are relatively new and you're getting the value on them, plus 600, plus 900, something like that, I think that's a good bet. But I'm going to go Let's Get Loud. Seems like a kick off the whole thing. And then she'll go into some of her like bigger ones. Although I feel like Let's Get Loud is pretty big.
Let's go Jenny from the Block for me.
Okay.
Even though I don't think she'll do it, just for the sake of being different. All right, now Shakira, which will be her first song. I don't know many of her songs. The odds are plus 250 for She Wolf, Whenever, Wherever. That was the first ever big song I heard from her. That was when I was in college. Plus 400. Dare plus 550. Hips Don't Lie, which was huge, plus 600. I mean, do I have to read all these?
I'm kind of upset that we're even doing it.
Okay.
You know what this whole segment is for me? La tortura. That is the torture. This whole thing is the torture. I'm gonna go with I don't know, Wherever, Whenever, plus 400.
Ooh, that's what I was going to do. All right. Let's I like this one. How many times will A-Rod be shown during the halftime show?
And basically they're just saying he's shown or he's not shown.
The odds are under 0.5 at minus 220. The over is at plus 155.
I'm going to go under. Again, this is another one where it's like it's minus 220 on the under. How often do they show anybody during the halftime show besides the halftime performer?
I agree.
Yeah, I'm going under.
I just don't see the camera cutting to A-Rod.
Not a lot of value here.
And if they do cut to A-Rod, I have a feeling he's dancing very dorky.
I feel like he's just standing in a box.
No, he's like, I feel like he's just dorky.
Okay.
Because he's kind of a dorky guy.
Yeah, you think?
Dorky guy who loves steroids.
Yeah.
I'm going to agree with you. the under. Now, this is an interesting bet. Will Jennifer Lopez show butt cleavage?
I don't even know what this means.
How do they define butt cleavage?
Exactly. This is a fucking stay away. This is you're bound to get burned. This is the Coldplay song all over again. Like, it's an undefinable thing, so they're gonna take your money whichever way you bet it.
Does that mean butt crack?
Like, first of all, if they're saying, are you going to see her butt crack?
Well, this is saying butt cleavage.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I don't know what that means. But if butt cleavage is defined as butt cracked, the no should be minus 5,000. You're not going to see Jennifer Lopez's butt crack.
Yeah, I'd assume that's what butt cleavage means.
What's Nick doing over there? He's just sitting like this.
Nick, what's going on over there?
Well, this is my way of trying to say, hey, I have the answer to butt cleavage.
Okay.
Okay.
So butt cleavage is defined.
This is the international sign for I have the answer?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
I have the butt cleavage answer. Butt cleavage is a minor exposure of the buttocks, often due to low-rise pants.
Okay.
So
basically plumber's butt is
Yeah.
what we're talking about.
Essentially,
Plumber's
plumber's
crack.
crack.
Yeah.
Yes, correct.
We're not talking about she's wearing if she wears some sort of thong situation, or if she wears
Yeah, I thought
we
at
still
first,
don't see crack then. Like, she could wear like some booty shorts or whatever where we see full cheeks basically. But
Yeah.
this is talking about some sort of crack situation.
exactly from
I'm
the
going
top.
hard no. I actually might even bet on this minus 400. I think minus 400 you're stealing money.
You used to talk again? You held out
Nick
the
is
mic.
doing some sort of
Yoga?
he's doing some sort of like the guys on the airport, the guys on the runway,
I thought we had like a little
some
chemistry
sort
here
of hand
like,
gesture. Or
yeah,
something.
I'm doing some hand gestures
He's like-
here
he's like-
because you're always turning my mic
It's like
on,
his
turning my mic
it's
off.
like his blinkers don't work in his car, so he's gone to the old school hand signals. Are you making a left turn?
I wish we had a camera on Nick when he's doing
Can we
this.
get that,
He's
please?
like-
Can we get a producer camera?
All right, you're turning your mic off until we need you again. I don't know what's going on over there. I know now. All right, you want to get to some player props, Praino?
You know I do.
All right.
I want to get. I'm not weighing in on any Latino player props.
All right.
I'm over the Latino portion of this fucking.
Super Bowl MVP. The odds-on favorite, no surprise here, is Patrick Mahomes at plus 130. Then Jimmy G plus 275. Raheem Mostert at plus 550. Kelsey plus 1,600 along with Tyreek Hill and George Kittle. Damian Williams plus 2,000 along with Nick Bosa. Emmanuel Sanders plus 4,000. Sherman plus 330. Debo Samuel. I mean, look, you got the list in front of you.
Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you my. I'm going to give you what I think are really good value MVP bets. I think Patrick Mahomes, if the Chiefs win, Mahomes probably gets it. I think it would be highly unlikely. Like, I just don't see any situation whatsoever that the Chiefs win and an offensive player besides Mahomes gets it. I think Travis Kelce at plus 1,600 is lighting your money on fire. I think Sammy Watkins at plus 4,000 and Tyreek Hill at 1,600, lighting your money on fire. If Tyreek Hill wins, there's
no way.
What in what situation does he win it and Patrick Mahomes doesn't get it?
Well, and that's the point. If you're gonna put money on anyone in the Chiefs winning it, you have to put it on Patrick Mahomes.
I think it's the only bet, unless here would be my value bet for the Chiefs. I would go Honey Badger. I think he's plus 6. If scroll down, I think he's plus 6,600 maybe. Yeah. So you're getting 66 to 1 odds on a Chiefs defender that's a ball hawk, and if in some close game where he has a pick six or an interception and a forced fumble, he's honestly the only player I bet on the Chiefs. Now, God knows McCole Hardman runs back 2 kickoffs and he gets it, but that's my only That's my only non-Mahomes Chiefs bet. Conversely, I think on the Niners, I like George Kittle at 10-1. I like Bosa at 20-1.
I would say I like Bosa. Here's why I like. If I'm going to go Niners, I like Mostert. I like Bosa.
I think Mostert having the game he had in the NFC Championship game, I think 550 isn't enough value. I think they're kind of counting on it. Obviously Garoppolo, but I think Garoppolo's not giving you enough value at plus 275 either
No.
for how many options there are.
No, I wouldn't touch Garoppolo. I just wouldn't touch him.
I like Kittle at 10-1. I like Bosa at 20-1, and I like Deebo Samuel at 33-1. A guy who could catch a touchdown, a guy who they've been running a ton of reverses and jet sweeps with. If Deebo Samuel has a touchdown reception and a touchdown run at 33-1, I like that.
Sure.
So those are my Niners picks. Bosa, Kittle, and I love Deebo Samuel at 33-1.
All right, let's do a few quick quarterback ones. Patrick Mahomes, over under 304.5 yards. I am saying under.
304. I'm going to go over.
Okay. Jimmy G, over under 239.5. I am going to go under as well.
I'm going to go under as well.
Patrick Mahomes passing touchdowns, over under 2.5.
I'm going under. I think he throws 2 touchdowns.
I agree. Jimmy G passing touchdowns is at over under 1.5.
And now these are all even money, right? These are all basically minus 110, I assume.
Yeah.
This is just the over under on it. Garoppolo 1.5. I just don't think there's enough value in going for over, so I'm going to say under as well. If you were getting plus something on over 1.5, I might take it, but I'm going to go under.
I think he throws for 2 touchdowns. I don't think he throws for many yards. I think, it's one of those out to Kittle.
Yeah.
Second and goal from the 3. Any of these ones that you like, Joe, as I scroll down, that you pop out and say, man, I would take this on this player?
Slide up a little bit there. Sorry, we've got Damian Williams 51.5. I like over on Damian Williams 51.5. The idea that the Chiefs win this game and their running back doesn't have 50 yards rushing.
We'd have to have 52.
Right, but you get my point.
Yeah.
We're talking about in the 50-yard area. That seems a little crazy to me. Mostert at 81.5. I kind of like over as well. I think, again, you got to look at what both teams need to do to win this game. I just think, if the Niners are going to be in this game, Mostert's got to have 81. Emmanuel Sanders, I think at over under 40.5. I'm not going to touch it, but if I had to, I'd go under because there's just so many options. Kittle seems like he hasn't had the huge. It's like, does Kittle have one big play in him or not? Because I could see him having a bunch of catches and I could see him having a touchdown or two, but over under 70.5 is going to be, does he have that one big play in him? I'm not really loving any of these.
Me either.
I do like Kelsey over 74.5. I think he's the security blanket.
Okay, you love the cross sports. I know
I
that.
do. This is one of my favorites.
So these are bets that entail using other sports paired up with the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So here's one. Which will be higher, James Harden's total points or Super Bowl first half points?
And it's amazing that it's plus 7.5. So you're getting first half total points plus 7.5. James Harden versus the Pelicans. I mean, you got to look at what? You got to look at 38 to 40 points, right? So basically, will there be 30-ish points scored in the first half? What do you think?
Well, I just want to bring up the fact that Harden has been playing and shooting awful lately. Over his past 5 games, 29, 27, 12, took 2 games off, and then 18.
Personally, I like taking the Super Bowl points.
I like taking the Super Bowl points plus 7.5.
Yeah.
If you get a 14-14 game, you're looking at 28 plus 7.5. You're looking at 35.5. I mean, just give me James Harden's. What's James Harden averaging on the year?
35.7.
Yeah. I like that you're getting 7.5 on top of it. I'm gonna take first half points plus 7.5.
All right, how about this one? Which will be higher? Russell Westbrook's stat line versus Patrick Mahomes' passing attempts. So for that, it would be Russell Westbrook's points.
Call it. Yep.
Points, rebounds, assists versus Patrick Mahomes' passing attempts.
Call it 24 points, 10 and 10. Like, just give him the benefit of the doubt that you're going to get it. Give him 10 and 10. So you're looking at 44 versus Patrick Mahomes' passing attempts.
It's got to be Russell Westbrook.
I'm going Mahomes.
Really?
I think
Wow.
Mahomes throws the ball a ton.
Hold on. You think Patrick Mahomes throws the ball 45 to 50 times?
I think he throws the ball 40 times.
But if Russell Westbrook has 20, 10, and 8.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Westbrook hot lately.
I'm going Russell Westbrook.
I'm going Mahomes.
That's a fun bet, though. Okay, how about this one? Which will be higher? Zion Williamson's points and rebounds versus Jimmy Garoppolo's completions.
I'm going Garoppolo again. Well, they're still taking it easy with Zion. Call it 15 and 10 just to just pump up his numbers. Call it 15 and 10. You're looking at 25. Oh well, actually, pass completions.
I'm 100%
going
taking Zion.
I'm going Zion.
You got to take Zion.
Sorry,
in
pass
this.
attempts.
Yeah.
I think Jimmy Garoppolo throws the ball 25 times, but 25 completions, I don't think he does.
Yeah.
You say they've been taking it easy with him. His minutes by the game have been going up every game.
Yeah.
This will be his 5th game. They just got their first win, and the Pelicans think that they can make a run down the stretch. And I think if they're playing against the Rockets, they're going to have to play Zion. So
Yeah.
I'm also
But
taking
also,
Zion.
you got to consider the fact. I know the Rockets have been struggling lately, but it is Rockets Pelicans. If the Rockets are up 30 points in the third quarter, they're not putting Zion in the game, right?
Probably.
They're not going to waste the guy in a blowout.
Last game, 30 minutes.
Do you want any of these? It seems like
To me, these are the bets you make fucking money on, because
really.
who fucking knows? Georgetown St. John's total points minus 10.5. George Kittle plus Travis Kelce receiving yards plus 10.5. Dude, give me $100 on Georgetown St. John's total points minus 10.5. Fuck it.
Oh yeah. Well, you figure if each team scores 60 points.
Yeah. But yeah, that's 120 points. So you're looking
And
at.
by the way, that's a low number.
Yeah.
60.
Yeah, you're looking at, but total receiving yards plus 10.5 for Kelsey Kittle. But I love it because just fucking.
It's a fun
No
bet.
one knows, so just give me Georgetown St. John's.
Yeah. Or this is a fun one. Which will be higher? This is for the Phoenix Open.
Yeah.
The number of hole-in-ones at the Phoenix Open versus the number of missed PATs.
I mean, no one's gonna miss an extra point.
You don't think?
No. So if you're gonna bet that, I'd bet the hole in one. But honestly, I wouldn't bet that because I don't know about the 16th hole at the Phoenix Open. I think it is like kind of a fun known for
Hole-in-ones?
But I'm sure they don't have a hole in one every year.
Yeah. Let's move on to some entertainment ones. These are kind of fun.
Yeah.
Which will be higher? The Joker, as in the movie, the Joker's Oscar wins or Patrick Mahomes passing touchdowns?
This is a fun one for a couple reasons. One, I think there's this weird Joker backlash that seems to be happening, and I hate it. I think it's everything that's wrong with woke culture. Joker was a great movie, in my opinion.
I haven't seen it.
And I think it was well directed. I thought it was incredibly well scored. I thought Joaquin Phoenix was amazing. The idea that the wokes are upset
What are the wokes upset at?
that Little Women didn't get a Best Picture nomination and Joker did, and Joker's this male, blah, 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 blah. It's like suddenly when everybody wants to talk about like how we have to mental health needs to be more in the conversation when we're talking about gun control and blah blah blah. This whole movie was basically about mental health and gun control.
But it's not. But you're saying so the woke culture, they care about everyone except for the white dude. The straight white dude.
But now it's something about like how we want to like glorify, like, I don't know, what's it called when these people are like virgins, like what's the millennial thing when guys incels, whatever. But it's and because Todd Phillips is known for like making like frat comedies that everybody like, for some reason Joker has become the villain of like white women everywhere. It's like it's white women's like angry thing right now. They're very upset at Joker, and they're very upset that Joe Rogan got behind Bernie. White women can't handle it right now. So here's the thing. Joker, I think, is going to catch a little bit of that flack, but at the same time, it's nominated, I believe, for 11 awards.
Correct.
And we're talking about, I think Patrick Mahomes shows 2 or 3. I think, again, score. I think good chance Joaquin Phoenix wins. I don't think it's going to win Best Picture. I don't think it's going to win Best Director. But I'm taking Joker Oscar awards. I could see a 3-2 Joker awards versus Mahomes passing TDs.
Yeah. What about this one? Which will be higher? The number of Donald Trump tweets or 49ers scores?
I'm staying. This is a stay away. I have not enough ability. I don't follow Donald Trump. I don't know how many times he tweets in a normal day.
Yeah. All right. Any of these game props?
Is that Donald Trump tweets versus total Niners points? 49ers point total? Does Donald Trump tweet 10 times in a day? I don't know. I mean, if I had to bet on it, I'd say point total, but
This doesn't seem right. And you want to touch on any of these game props?
sure. I mean, I think some of them we can skip. We can say first team to 10. Skip all those. I'd like to go here, longest touchdown. Is this longest touchdown pass and longest touchdown run? Because you have 2 longest touchdowns.
I'd assume. Sorry, this was kind of a mess when I pulled
I'm
it.
going to go longest touchdown pass over and longest touchdown run over. Over 44.5 for pass. I think you're going to have at least one big play.
What about this field goal one? I like this. Longest field goal, the over-under is 47.5.
I'm going to go over.
I'm going to go over as well.
I think somebody's going to need to make a big kick in this game.
And last but not least, we didn't get to this earlier. The Gatorade.
Yes.
You're at the odds-on favorite for the Gatorade are plus 250 for lime, green, yellow. Then orange is plus 350.
Well, the favorite is Clearwater plus 160.
Oh, okay, yeah. Sorry, I didn't look at it in order.
I'm going value. I'm going plus 750 on red because we get 2 red teams. I feel like that's something that some equipment guys considering, maybe just for the dousing.
Yeah.
Like I think these days in modern football, everybody's sort of gone Bobby Boucher style. Like everybody's on the water now. Like they don't need like the sugar and the Gatorade or whatever. If they were smart, they'd be dumping Miller Lite on each other. Honestly, like
I agree.
That's what they'd be drinking on the sideline.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's why the clear water is.
You know what Miller Lite is, by the way? The official sponsor of the Dirty Sports Podcast.
Oh, I know. You don't have to remind me, Andy. I'll never forget that one. But I'm going to go red at plus 750 for the value. I think it's going to be water, but I think hopefully some smart equipment manager has some red set up on both sidelines just for the color-coded dousing.
I think.
Also, Andy Reid's the Kool-Aid man, right? So.
Well, funny you say that. I heard at plus 10,000 is barbecue sauce for Andy Reid.
Oh, okay.
So if the Chiefs win, they will actually just douse Andy Reid in a giant vat of barbecue sauce. I like the Clearwater. I like the favorite.
Yeah.
And those are the prop bets, guys. Super Bowl 54 will be here. Nick keeps saying I need to throw a party in the Smut Studio. I said, where is the room?
Yeah.
We got 3 people on the couch. We got a desk right here. We got stools. I mean, we can fit.
So before we wrap this up, though, I mean, I know we've all made it. I think when you do a Super Bowl preview, it's sort of required. It's sort of required that you do winner, score, MVP.
Sure.
So
Start with
Bilbo.
start.
I'm going to go Niners in a close one. We'll go 27-24.
Ooh.
I'll take Bosa as MVP.
Wow. You kind of went where I was going to go. Okay. I am going to say Niners 28.
No field goals for the Niners.
No, correction. Niners 31. Chiefs 27. MVP Raheem Mostert.
I'm gonna go. I'm basically right in the same realm as you guys. I think I'm gonna go 30-26
Oh man.
Niners, which means I think it goes over. Might be a little high. Yeah, I'm gonna go 30-26. I think it's a 4-point game. We go 30-26 Niners, and I'm going Deebo Samuel with a rushing touchdown and a receiving touchdown gets the MVP.
Sounds like we need to get those some Debo from Friday.
Yeah.
Some Debo gifts going. Nick's looking at me, blank stare. Debo's the guy who knocks everybody out.
Yeah.
We just did a video.
He's the bald guy.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
It's fine.
No.
We literally just did a video with Gritty where Ice Cube knocks him out.
Okay, you're talking. Okay.
Okay, anyway, that's how we wrap up the show. Guys, thanks for tuning in. Super Bowl 54 preview. It's here. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at The Dirty Sports. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Andy Ruther, especially if you want to see a nice fire from homeless people. Joe Praino, where can they follow you?
Follow me at Joe Praino on Instagram. Again, Instagram, all that matters. I'm up in like the 2,900. It's such a sad state of affairs on my Instagram. 2,900? You would think that no one listens to this podcast. Follow me on Instagram. I'd like to get to 3K.
Yeah.
To 3K for the Super Bowl. Also, at Fix Your Life on Twitter. And those are two places that I want you to share with me your Miller Lite Super Bowl party. I want it. Send me pics of your Miller Lite. Send me pics of you guys enjoying a great American beer on America's finest holiday. And if I see a jersey of a team that's not playing in the Super Bowl in the background, you'll get blocked. So be careful with your pictures. Or if it's not you, if it's one of your friends in the background, feel free to shame them with a crossover Cuck/Miller Lite picture. Also, joeprano.com for shows. And, I think that's it for me, Andy.
Where can they follow you on TikTok, Nick?
Well, my TikTok is Nick D'Alessandro9. Just send me funny videos. But I put out a tweet yesterday with my ideal NBA 2K lineup, and I would love to get some responses from Dirtballs about your ideal 2K lineup.
What is your ideal NBA 2K lineup?
My ideal lineup for 2K, point guard John Wall, shooting guard CJ McCollum, small forward LeBron, Anthony Davis power forward, and DeAndre Jordan at center.
Wow. Seems like you play a lot of you're going for a lot of 2-point baskets.
Oh yeah,
you
gotta drive the ball.
You're not a big 3-shooter.
Drive the ball, throw the lobs, get the easy points, and then if McCollum's got to hit a 3, that's where we're going.
Can we talk about his little hobbit legs up on my desk?
Yeah. Little Bilbo legs.
The little Bilbo legs. It's so adorable. All right, guys.
You need to get him some. You know what we need? Our intern gift should be. We should get him some Hobbit feet slippers.
Oh yeah.
You know those Hobbit feet? They make the ones where it looks like feet,
We'll
like hairy little feet.
We'll get some. We'll get some on Amazon today. All right, guys. That's the show. Thanks for listening. Thanks for supporting the show. Enjoy your Super Bowl. Remember, be responsible and let Joe know how much you love Miller Lite. Have a great weekend, Dirtballs, and most importantly, stay dirty.